Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Monday, January 23rd, 2012, and we are going to go over the trade setups that we took this morning in live trading room and the ones we didn't take. Um, there wasn't actually anything that we didn't take this morning. There wasn't actually anything we didn't take this morning. We had one trade set up here. Well, I'll show it here on the 2100 tick. Hopefully, I will show it here on the 2100 tick. You can see right over here. I seem to be losing everything right here. All right. Well, I appear to have just lost my charts. Let's see. Let's see here. What's the audience view? Does the audience see a whole bunch of white charts? Okay. Well, it hasn't disconnected me yet, so I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, we took one long trade here this morning. I'll describe it to you, but you can't actually see it because my charts aren't showing anything. It was off of the 2100 tick, the 2100 tick, the 10,000 contract, and the 4 tick range all had a trade at the same spot. Price had gotten above the weekly trading zone. It had gotten above the resistance area that had been above us. And the BBC, now I can show it to you, my charts are coming back. And the BBC had also gotten into that spot. So we were buying a pullback to the BBC. Let's see if it lets me scroll here. We were buying a pullback to the BBC right here. All right, I will scroll as soon as I can. You know what? I rebooted today too. Right here, you see price had gotten above the weekly trading zone. We did have resistance in here, resistance on the 10K. The chart that's actually right below this one. There was resistance printing right here inside the weekly trading zone. And the BBC went up, pierced the resistance. It got up to the top of the zone, and actually outside of the zone. And we entered long right here. Now, these few bars right here, I know it doesn't look like much, but that took about a half an hour right here for it to go from here to here. And so we were long, and initially we were just, the trade wasn't doing anything, it wasn't going anywhere. And then eventually it gave us a couple of ticks profit, then it came back and gave us a few ticks loss, then it went back up, back to profit, break even. And then the bottom just fell out. And that was the only trade we took on the ES this morning. We didn't take any trades on the YM, though I believe there was one trade that had set up on the short side. We didn't take it. There was one trade that set up on the long side, but it was going right into the weekly trading zone, so we did not take that trade either. All right. Give me just a second here. We took a trade on the euro this morning, but I don't want to get the euro into the daily recaps just yet. Okay, once we've really worked this euro thing out, then I think we'll start bringing that into the daily recaps as well. But we did take a trade on the euro, and we looked at crude this morning just a little bit, and we also looked at the British pound. I don't have the weekly trading zones that you had created for the pound on the actual chart right now, but we did look at the pound this morning, and assuming you were going to trade the pound the same way that you would trade the euro, the pound margin-wise anyway, the pound is much cheaper. It's almost a third the margin of the euro. Okay, it's probably 3/5 the margin of the euro. But you can see trading the pound the same way that you would trade the euro worked out pretty well. You would have been looking to go short right in here. There were a few opportunities this morning. The time to trade the pound, just based on the volume, that's why I have a volume chart down here. The time to trade the pound is really similar to the time to trade the euro, from about 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time to about 11 o'clock Eastern time. That seemed to be the best activity, but you can see it had a nice move up right here. Broke the elbow to the upside, price got down below it, it closed back up above it. So there was opportunity there. And that happened several times this morning. Similar trade setup scenarios happened several times this morning. So we, at this point, we're waiting for the markets. Actually, right now I'm waiting for my charts, but we are waiting for opportunities in the markets. On the downside, this move down right before we closed out the morning session. One of the partners had asked if it looked like a good opportunity to short the 2100 and/or the 4-tick range, and I said I would if I wasn't going to be leaving at the time. I hope he did short it because it was a nice setup. It worked. It worked perfectly. Everything came together just right. And that is pretty much the whole morning session. It's I think my charts are starting to come back to life right here. But that was pretty much the whole morning session. So I am going to wrap up the recording there. We had one losing trade on the ES this morning. All right, we had one losing trade, minus 2 points on the ES, and we had one winning trade on the Euro, which was plus the equivalent of 2 points. So it was really a break-even morning for us, but we're only going to count on the recap. We're only going to count the ES trade that was a loss for 2 points. All right, that said, we're going to wrap it up. And if anybody has any questions or anything, you can type them in, and I will answer your questions as quickly as possible. Okay? Hold on a sec. Let me just check. There are questions in here. All right. Yep, I'm gonna wrap up the recording right here. All right.